Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the December 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aries. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. With that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at general, what's coming for December. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and the fifth and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. But again, Aries, going back to the beginning, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the summary card of friction. Friction typically indicates some sort of conflict or disagreement that happened in these last few weeks or month. Let's see what other messages we have, though. The first card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. I feel like this is your attempt to resolve conflict, Aries. So making an effort, being consistent. It's almost kind of like water under the bridge type energy coming through here for you. The next card that we have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of family or friend, so likely this conflict was with family or friend. But this is like completion. You see the finish line here, celebration. So again, I do think that there is the opportunity for this to resolve if it has not already for you. If this isn't conflict, this very well could just be you putting in hard work and then completion or reward or finishing due to that hard work. At the bottom here, we have the Hermit card. The Hermit card is a card of going within for clarity. It's spiritual illumination. It's about being on your path. This light inside the lantern is the light inside of you, Aries, and it's almost like you need to take a look at what you want, where you're going. It's like you know you need this relationship or you value this relationship and there's the desire to work it out. But that Hermit is kind of like that check-in with yourself to validate or disvalidate those feelings. Let's take a look at clarifiers here, though. The first clarifier we have is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of needing to rest, retreat, renew, recover. Again, but this is more of like recovery of the relationship, working to resolve things, making amends. So recovery of the relationship there. The next card that we have is the Death card. The Death card is a card, I always like to throw it out there. It's not a card of actual death, Aries, but it does indicate big changes, endings, time to move on, transformation. I feel like this relationship could change because of it, but it's not like bad type of change. It's more of an evolution. It's more a feeling of growth with this family or friend. At the bottom here, we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of apathy, lack of fulfillment. Something wasn't feeling right. So again, that Hermit card is especially important to get right with our feelings and make sure this relationship is serving us in the way we would like it to. Okay, moving on now, let's take just a general look at what's coming for December. We have the card Connection. So lots of relationship energy here right off the bat, Aries, but connection is about making a human connection. This is going beyond surface level. This isn't just talking about the weather or how you're feeling. This is about being open to truly connect with somebody. So connection card, like to see that there. Let's see what messages we have underneath this. The first card that we have is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. There's low feelings about something coming up going into December, Aries. I can't quite put my finger on it exactly yet. We're going to take a look at this though, of course, and clarify and kind of see how it fits in with the other cards. There is kind of some low feelings. I feel like something maybe is not happening as fast as you would like it to, but again, we'll try and confirm that. The next card that we have is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. This is coming through as like encouragement that you need to keep working on something. Again, maybe things aren't happening as fast as you would like them to, Aries, but this is like hard work pays off. So you want to stick with this hard work and keep pushing through. Get really good at what you're doing. Become very skilled at what you're doing. At the bottom here, we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of giving or receiving help. This is very generous type energy. You could be doing some volunteer work. Like I see food bank for some of you going into the holidays. But it's like, I feel like you're going to do a little extra for somebody going into the end of the year. Let's clarify these out and see what we've got going on. The first clarifier we have is the Ace of Cups. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of new baby, or it's a card of newness. In this case, it's new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. Not surprised to see this because we have that connection card there. So we kind of talked about that potential for relationship from the beginning. So definitely new relationship, advancement of relationship, baby there. Some of you may not be completely over a previous relationship. That seems to be what's coming up. There's something that's making you sad, but it's not necessarily the relationship directly or this person or this thing directly. You could be upset about, again, time seems to be a message that's coming up. So again, maybe how long this relationship took to come to fruition. The next card that we have is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is one of those good cards for you, Aries. It's always in your favor. It's a card of clarity. It's a card of like living life's purpose. We kind of talked about that with the Hermit card. But it's like, I feel like this is the clarity to keep pushing through and working on whatever this thing is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's something else. But clarity on what you want and fulfilling your life's purpose. So it's like, continue to keep pushing forward to whatever feels to be the life's purpose. The next card that we have is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, again, anytime we have an ace card, is a card of newness. In this case, it's like new mental clarity. So again, I feel like you're finding something out, realizing that somebody needs help, and then fulfilling that generosity. Again, you just like learn something, you get information on something, and that prompts you to kind of lean in and offer that generosity. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. I did get this new deck, which is just like kind of random bits on money. So we'll pull one of those to start with. Whether you receive money with a frown or a smile doesn't change the value of it. However, the energy you hold during the time you spend with money can determine what it can do for you. Okay, so again, job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Really anything you think of when you think of money here, Aries. The first card that we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. So this is making sure that you're not what's limiting yourself from accomplishing what you want. If you take a look at this card, this person's blindfolded, their arms are bound down, they feel really stuck, but if you look around, there's all these kind of swords around them. So they have the ability to really kind of very easily scoot back and cut themselves free. So make sure you're not limiting yourself. Like, you don't ever want to be the one telling you that you can't do something, or taking too seriously that somebody else told you you can't do something. So make sure that you're not limiting yourself. Make sure you have positive thoughts there and positive intentions. The next card that we have is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of wanting to move on. It's kind of withdrawing, retreating, moving on. You see these Eight of Cups, they're stacked really nicely here, but yet this person is still moving on. I think some of you could be potentially leaving a job or leaving a position or maybe pulling out an investment. I feel like you're kind of wanting to pull away from something at this point. At the bottom, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is typically a love card. It's very romantic love. It's partnership. It's proposal. It's marriage. In this case, this is like a business proposal or a new business relationship. I will say, make sure, again, your thoughts aren't limiting this opportunity, but I do see you going towards this new relationship or this new opportunity that's available. Our first clarifier is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence, abusive, some sort of toxic relationship. Again, I feel like this is like you telling yourself that you can't do something, or maybe it's somebody else telling you that you can't do something, but it's like really restricted you in what you do and don't think you can do. So just be aware of that you're not holding yourself back, but it's like, it feels like there's other influences or past experiences that are making you feel that way. But just be conscious and make sure that you're kind of pushing past those boundaries or not allowing yourself to have those kind of limitations. The next card that we have is the Knight of Wands. Anytime I see the Knight of Wands, this card like yells freedom to me. So I feel like moving away from this situation, this job, this role, this company is going to be very freeing. It gives you a sense of freedom. So I'd like to see this next move for you, this new opportunity. Pairs really nicely to our next clarifier is the Six of Wands. This is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. So really great partnership or opportunity that's coming through for you in December. Nice sense of freedom associated with it. So just make sure you're not limiting yourself. Now let's move on to our next column, which is anything related to love. Similar to the money card, I did get this new deck of love cards. Let's take a look at what your love message says. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow and you'll be surprised where it leads. Okay. Now let's take a look and see what love messages we have here. Family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love, Aries. The first card that we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card being very traditional, being very conventional. It's very much so a card of conformity. And I feel like you need to do the opposite. You need to try something different than what you've been doing here, Aries. Whether you're in a relationship, you need to be trying something different. If you're single and looking for somebody, maybe you want to stay single and people keep coming to you and they want to be with you. Again, something needs to change here. So we need to do something different than what we've been doing, something out of the norm. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, loss, divorce, depression, separation. I don't know that there is a relationship ending this month for you, Aries, but this is like energy of needing to heal still. There's something holding you back in the sense that we haven't healed. And of course, this is going to be like past relationship or hurt from a family member or from a friend. But there's absolutely some healing that needs to happen when we see the Three of Swords. This is about pulling the sword from your own heart and healing in that sense. The next card that we have is the Lover's card. The Lover's card is a really, really good card, obviously anywhere in the reading, but we love to see it in the love column. This is partnership, deep love, choice, string together. We have a lot of love energy or relationship energy coming through. It's really not surprised to see this here. There's so much potential for relationship, whether it's friend or love interest. But again, it's like doing something different to get there, potentially doing some healing to get there. The first clarifier we have for this column is the Ten of Wands. This is a card of stress, exhaustion, having lots of burdens. But the message that's coming here, Aries, is like you're trying the same thing over and over and over again and you're expecting different results. But as we know, the same thing is going to have the same result. So going back to the Hierophant, it's that change to what we're doing. It's that change to the conventional way of doing it. It's that change to the traditional way that we've been doing it. Again, you're doing things over and over again expecting a different result, but you need to do something different to get the different result. The next card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of good fortune. It's a turning point. One of my favorite cards in the deck just because it's like prolific almost. But this is good. I think this is a good change in luck, a good change in fortune, a good change in heart. So I think this is an indicator that some of that healing will happen. You're at a place where you can turn the corner and actually accomplish some of that healing that needs to happen. At the bottom here, we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is very, I mean, this is a really good love card too. I mean, one that you would ideally see in the love column all the time. This is like Prince or Princess Charming. It's very romantic. It's very proposal-like. So I definitely think there is a new relationship for many of you here. But again, it's doing that new thing to get it. But super nice pairing between the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. I mean, those are both insanely strong love cards there. Okay, now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Moderation. You probably have heard me say this before if this card's come up before you, before Aries, I'm not sure. I love moderation. I think it's the key to a lot of things. Exercise in moderation, sleep in moderation, work in moderation. I can go on, but moderation's pretty important and pretty valuable. So keep moderation top of mind as you go into December. Also think like with the holidays and stuff, like eating in moderation and spending in moderation. It's kind of like a splurge time for a lot of us, so moderation could be a good move going into December. But taking a look here, our first card that we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of apathy. It's a card of feeling unfulfilled. Going into the end of the year, I'm like not sure that you're super happy or super content, Aries, but the year is ending. We're starting a new year. So this is a good time to take a look and see why we're feeling this way. The next card that we have is the Ten of Wands. This is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. This is like burnt out to me. It's like you look at this person, they're carrying all these wands and they're like hunched over crying into these wands. I feel like you need to put down the wands of 2022 and start getting yourself ready for 2023. Figure out what's making you happy. Figure out what you're wanting. Figure out where you want to go. Figure out what's feeling like a burden. At the bottom here, we have the World card. The World card's the last card in the Major Arcana. It's a card of completion. It's completing a goal, completing a lesson. In this case, this is like completing the year to me. But this is also the ability, again, to reset those feelings of lack of apathy or fulfillment or that kind of unhappiness, these stress, these burdens. It's an opportunity to end those cycles and move forward. Not only is it the end of the year, but again, it's that opportunity to end those things. The first clarifier we have is the Devil card. The Devil card's a card of greed, envy, materialism, obsession. It's like anti-moderation, if you will. So do be aware of that. But some of these things are not making us feel good. This is addiction, this is greed, this is envy, materialism, obsession. These are some of the things that could be bringing you down or weighing down your feelings, Aries. The next card that we have is the High Priestess. This is very intuitive, very spiritual. This is like trusting your intuition and knowing exactly what you need to do. Some of you could feel like there's like secret or mystery or unknown too that could be sourcing some of those low feelings. And then last but not least, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is desire for long-term security. So again, getting right on where we want to go, what changes we need to make. We really need some self-reflection of what we can come to an end with and move forward in a positive manner. Okay, now at this time I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1 is the Jack of Hearts. This is number 22 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the 3 of Diamonds. This is number 48 card. That's also a yes. And question number 3 is the Ace of Diamonds. This is number 9 card. That one's going to be a no though. So yes, yes, no for you, Aries. We're going to pull a card from our Healing Stone, oops, maybe not, from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of December. Your crystal this month is amethyst, which is good for dreams, losses, sorrow. It helps let go. It helps with intuition. It helps with reality and mental clarity. All around really good. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says, surround yourself with people who make you hungry for life, touch your heart, and nourish your soul. Thank you so much, Aries, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Also, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Aries, and have a wonderful rest of your year.